All right, guys, we've got some breaking news here. Actually, the title of the video, when I went to create it out most of the day, I was not aware that the U.S. has launched strikes against Iran again. Okay, so this is breaking news. We're going to talk about what the CEO of NVIDIA said about AI stock sector, but I wanted to lead off with this because this wasn't even on my radar until I literally was about to push the record button, jumped to Yahoo Finance, saw this. This is something as an AI tech stock holder you need to be aware of because this is going to introduce a lot more uncertainty in the market. Futures are falling. We don't have really any insight right now. The NASDAQ and the Dow closed up 231 points, 86 points. That's what they closed at. But the futures are definitely looking like they're going to be lower as we roll into tomorrow's trading session. So if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. We're going to see how that plays out. And I will be bringing you that news. So if you've got other things going on, we can talk about that in a video tomorrow. Okay. When we see how kind of the trading session starts. Okay. So what I wanted to talk to you about, though, was this. We had a situation earlier today where there was some significant sell-off, and specifically in the software technology sector. And that was driven by, per the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, saying that the fear around AI replacing tech software is illogical. I thought this was a great thing to say because there was this fear that the software companies, like the big software companies were going to go away and AI was going to replace them. And I love the fact that that Jensen's come out and addressing this and saying this is illogical. And he's saying it in a nice way, but it's really kind of stupid what people are thinking of. Because look, AI is a tool, and it's going to leverage software. This is what he said. It's going to leverage software to give even more synergies and even more positivity to come to countries, to companies, countries, governments, you name it, all that kind of, even you as individual people leveraging and using software. AI is going to become an augmentation tool and make it better. Okay. So that's something I think we needed to address because we saw a sell-off earlier today and there was this kind of rampant fear around this. And I think that this is something we needed to talk about because the entire software sector dragged lower because of it. So Jensen weighed in saying fears of AI disruption are, quote, illogical. The software-led downturn marks a rotation into other parts of the market that have lagged lately. We all know that there's a tremendous amount of capital and money that is rotated out of all other sectors, including crypto, including other sectors of investing, healthcare, things of transportation, things of that nature. A lot of that money is flowing into AI stocks. Okay. I think we're going to see a rough week ahead of us. Remember, tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got the CPI report's going to come out, and inside that report, I think it's going to come in hot. It's going to come in high. It's going to show that, yes, rising fuel, petroleum prices, the U.S.-Iran conflict, all of that is having a direct corollary and impact on our lives. I mean, you can't go to the think pump and not see the rising, the higher prices, and those prices ripple into every part of our life. I mean, because think about it. If fuel is higher, transportation costs are higher to move product across the United States, and globally as well. Ultimately prices are going to be higher. My point to you is we're going to see a rough trading session tomorrow, most likely, because now we've got this new U.S. striking Iran. We've got CPI report tomorrow. We've got a lot of things going on. We had this illogical thing going on where, again, people thought that AI was going to replace software, the entire software industry. That is not a thing. Okay. It's kind of a crazy sector. So if you're an AI stockholder, you're good. Just be aware there's a lot of stuff swirling around, and that's my job, is to make you aware that a lot of it is, well, not all of it, but some of it's irrelevant. The AI replacing tech software is irrelevant, okay? But just something you needed to be aware of. Wall Street's fears about further disruption from AI were brushed aside by one of the icons of the space, the CEO, Jensen Huang, weighed in on latest jitters at a Cisco AI event. Look, he said, quote, there's this notion that the tool industry is in decline. He's talking about software. We'll be replaced by AI. You could tell because a whole bunch of software companies whose stock prices are under a lot of pressure because somehow AI is going to replace them. He said it is the most logical thing in the world and time will prove itself. Because here's what's coming out. Here's what's really playing out. Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, has now essentially really the spokesperson or one of the biggest spokespersons for AI. He really is. Okay. It's kind of like Michael Saylor is one of the biggest spokespersons for Bitcoin in the entire crypto industry, as an example, just to give you some perspective. Okay. And so the fact that he's proactively out there talking about this and addressing these things, I think is really, really a good thing. Okay. Because because people start jumping to these illogical things, and they do. And it's hurting the AI sector. It's hurting the stock sector. It's not something we need to be worried about, guys. Okay. So I'm just kind of, again, I want you to be aware that this is something that's out there. And I love that Jensen went out there and talked about it. Okay. So we all know what happened at the end of last week. We had a pretty significant downturn on Friday. A lot of that has, you can see like right here, this is Micron. You can see that we've bounced back a little bit. So we had that downturn. We bounced back a little bit, but again, we're a little flat. NVIDIA, same kind of deal. We had that downturn. And now we're trying to bounce back here in the latest trading session. Each candle you see here is about 6 hours worth of trading data. So you can see we're trying to bounce back just a little bit, but it's simply not going to happen. I think now we got the US-Iran conflict, renewed strikes. Again, major downturn there from Marvel. You can go across the board. Dell, same deal. AMD, same deal. All of these things have been kind of pushed around, if you will. And I think we're, which actually presents a pretty good buying opportunity if you want to call it what it is. I mean, to put that in perspective, hey, I showed this to you guys a couple of times. This is my software, my trading indicator. It's about $1 a day to use. That's a buy alert all the way to that sell alert in 64 days, 216%. The software tells you when to buy and when to sell. So if that's something that's interesting to you, you want to know the best time to buy, the best time to sell any stock you trade, this is what you need. Okay. I just showed you real time right there. If you had the software, it could have helped you make 200+% just off of trading Micron, telling you when to buy and when to sell. All right. Links are in the description below if you want to check it out. It's $1 a day to use approximately. The prices are cheaper than you see on the screen here if you use that discount code. The link's in the description below. There's a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Yep. And there's live training in the members area every single week. Okay. So that's Micron. I just gave you an example. There's NVIDIA. Look at this. This one's NVIDIA, like buy to a sell, 30 days, 28%. Boom. Buy to a sell, 46 days, 39%. But also look and where it gave you the sell alert so that you don't take a 12+% loss. It tells you when to buy and when to sell. Marvel's the same deal. Look, a buy alert. Yeah. From here to basically here, 17 days, 76%. How'd you like to make 76% on Marvel? How'd you like to make 200% on Micron? That's what the software tells you what to do. If you're not using a trading indicator, you're some type of technology, you are flying blind and you don't know the best time to buy or sell and make profit. So I'm asking you for about $1 a day. Is $1 a day probably a good trade-off for you to make even more profits and even more money, knowing when the right time is to trade, to buy or sell any stock you already own, and or to find great stocks to get into and know when to buy and sell them, because that's what it does. Yep. So links are down there if you want to go get it. 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. You can cancel at any time later as well. No long-term contracts. Live coaching every week in the members area. There's a private community behind this that I've got for you with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members. 1,500+ people are using the software every single day to make even more money trading stocks. By the way, you can use the software for crypto as well. The software runs on an iPhone, runs on Android, and it runs on any computer. And you can run it in multiple places if you want. Links down there. I'll see you. Bye.